reading Dragon Slayers Academy, which is about a kid who's obviously going to become a knight and slay some dragons. So this is going to be a very fun book, and I think we are all going to be in for quite a wild ride. Let's get started. So, Chapter 1. Knock, knock! Who's there? Fergus bellowed from the inside the hovel. A poor minstrel, came a voice from outside in the blizzard. A poor minstrel who? Fergus called. Please, I'm freezing, cried the minstrel. This is no time for a joke. Pity, Fergus yelled. There's nothing I like better than a good knock-knock. He yanked open the door. There stood a snow-covered man with a lute and a pack slung over his shoulder. Icicles hung from his nose and ears. His lips were blue from the cold. Begone, varlet! Fergus shouted through his dirty yellow beard. There is no room here. Fergus spoke the truth. His whole hovel was but one cramped room, which he shared with his wife, Morwenna, and their 13 sons. 12 of these sons were big, beefy lads with greasy yellow hair like their father's. They scowled out the door at the minstrel, shouting, Begone! Begone! But the third eldest son, Wiglaf, was different from his brothers. He was small for his age. He had hair the color of carrots. He could not bear to see any creature suffer. When Fergus reached out to slam the door in the shivering minstrel's face, Wiglaf grabbed his arm. And here's a picture, so you guys can see it. Wiglaf trying to stop his father from closing the door on the minstrel. Wait, father, he said. Could not the minstrel sleep in the pigsty? I sing songs and tell fortunes, the minstrel offered. Songs? Fortunes? Fergus growled. Pig droppings. I also chop wood, shovel snow, slaughter pigs, break dung, scrub floors, and wash dishes, the minstrel added quickly. Oh, but we have Wiglaf to do all that, Morwenna told him. Please, the minstrel begged through his chattering teeth. There must be something I can do in return for a roof over my head. Fergus scratched his beard and tried to think. He might kill rats for us, Fergus, Morwenna suggested. Wiglaf won't do that. Wiglaf feels sorry for the rats, one of his younger brothers told the minstrel. Wiglaf won't squish a cockroach, another brother tattled. He won't even swat a fly. Wiggy never wants to kill anything, complained the third. I was pulling the legs off a spider once, and I have it, Fergus bellowed suddenly. The minstrel can kill rats to earn his keep, he grinned. Show him to the sty, Wiglaf. So Wiglaf did just that. And later on, he took a bowl of Morwenna's cabbage soup out to the minstrel for his supper. Ah, hot soup to warm the cold bones, the minstrel took a sip. Ah! He cried and spat it out. It is foul tasting at first, Wiglaf admitted, but you'll get used to it. I must, or I shall starve, the minstrel said. Talk to me, lad, while I try to get it down. Then he held his nose and jammed a spoonful into his mouth. You are lucky to be out here with the pigs, Wiglaf told him. The sty smells far better than our hovel, for my father believes that bathing causes madness. And Daisy here, he patted the head of a plump young pig sitting next to him. She is my best friend, and far better company than my brothers. They only like to fight and bloody each other's noses. Wiglaf rubbed his own nose. It was still tender from one of his brother's fights. They gang up on me something awful, he added. Then they call me a blister and runt because I will not fight back. I know it is foolish, she went on, but sometimes I dream that one day I will become a mighty hero. Would not that surprise my brothers? No doubt it would, the minstrel said. He jammed one last spoonful of soup into his mouth. Then he burped. Ah, that's better. Now, my boy, I know some tales of mighty heroes. Would you like to hear one? I would indeed, Wiglaf exclaimed. No one had ever told Wiglaf a tale before. Morwenna sometimes told him what she would do to him if he did not wash the dishes, and Fergus often told him how he was no use at all in the cabbage fields, but those tales were not so much fun to hear. Wiglaf settled down in the straw next to his pig to listen. The tale was indeed about a mighty hero, a hero who tried to slay a dragon named Gorzil. When at last the minstrel came to the end, his voice dropped low. Then Gorzil roared a roar of thunder. Bolts of lightning shot from his nose, and from out of the fire and smoke came a crunch, 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 and a mighty gulp. When the smoke cleared, the knight and his steed were gone, the minstrel said, and Gorzil was sitting high on his pile of gold, using the knight's own sword for a toothpick. "No!" cried the Wiglaf. "'Tis true," the minstrel told the boy. "My grandfather was a dragon hunter. He saw it happen with his own 2 eyes. Well, with his one good eye, anyway." "Pray tell," Wiglaf asked, "who finally killed this dragon?" "Oh, Gorzil is still very much alive," the minstrel grew thoughtful. "My grandfather told me that every dragon has a secret weakness. Take Old Snart, for instance. For years that dragon set fires to villages for sport. Then one day, Sir Guilford stuck out his tongue and said, 'Naughty, naughty, poo-poo, you old sissy.' Well, Old Snart hated to be teased. He began whimpering and crying until he collapsed in a pool of tears. He hardly noticed when Sir Guilford sliced off his head." "And what is the dragon Gorzil's weakness?" Wiglaf asked. "That," said the minstrel, "no one knows." He picked up his lute. "I have written a song about Gorzil. Listen. Gorzil is a dragon, a greedy one he is. For his jaws of terror villagers do flee. Gorzil burps up clouds of smoke, shoots lightning from his snout. Where, oh, where's the hero who'll find his secret out?" From that night on, Wiglaf brought the minstrel a bowl of cabbage soup for supper. In return, the minstrel told Wiglaf many a dragon tale. He taught the boy many a useful skill. How to stand on his head, how to wiggle his ears, and how to imitate the call of a lovesick toad. By the time the snow began to melt, he had even taught the boy how to read and write. Then one spring morning, Wiglaf brought the pigs their slop and found the minstrel packing. "Are you off for good?" Wiglaf asked sadly. "Aye, lad. A minstrel must wonder," the minstrel explained. "And," he burped, "eat something besides cabbage soup. But here, give me your hand. Before I go, I shall tell you your fortune." Wiglaf held out his palm. The minstrel studied it for a long time. "What do you see?" Wiglaf finally asked. "Something I never thought to see," the minstrel replied. "The lines on your palm say that you were born to be a mighty hero." "Me?" Wiglaf cried. "Are you sure?" The minstrel nodded. "In all my years of telling fortunes, I have never been wrong." "Imagine!" Wiglaf exclaimed. But what brave deed will I do?" "That," said the minstrel, "you must discover for yourself. Now I must be off. I shall miss you, Wiglaf." "Wait," Wiglaf said. He reached into his tunic and pulled out a tattered piece of cloth. "This is all I have left of, well, something I had when I was very young. I carry it with me always, for good luck." He held the rag out to the minstrel. "Here, I should like you to have it." "Keep your good luck charm, Wiglaf," the minstrel said, shouldering his lute. "The road a hero travels is never an easy one. I fear you shall need much luck." And with that, he was gone. Chapter 2. "Knock, knock," Fergus bellowed one fine summer morning at the breakfast table. Wiglaf didn't answer. He poked at his cabbage pancake, lost in his own thoughts. It had been months since the minstrel went away, and as far as Wiglaf could tell, he had not become a hero. True, he had saved a chipmunk from drowning in the pigs' water trough, and he had rescued 6 spiders from his brother's cruel hands, but surely these were not the deeds of a mighty hero. Wiglaf kept brooding. He never noticed Fergus bending down close to his ear. "Knock, knock!" Fergus shouted. Wiglaf jumped. Who's there?" "Harry!" Fergus cried. "Harry who?" asked Wiglaf. "Hurry up and eat your pancakes!" Fergus roared. "We're going to the Penwick Fair today." "Hooray!" yelled one of Wiglaf's younger brothers. "Jugglers and leopards! Let us be off!" "And so we shall be," Moana promised, "as soon as Wiglaf does the dishes." "We could be off sooner if someone dried," Wiglaf hinted. "Nah," said the oldest brother. "We'll wait." And so Wiglaf scrubbed the dishes, then he dried them, then he put them away. At last the family set off for the village. Just outside Penwick, Fergus stopped beside the village message tree. He squinted at a new notice tacked to its trunk. "Wiglaf!" Fergus shouted. The minstrel showed you how to make sense of these squiggles. Tell us what this sign says." Wiglaf stepped up and read, "Dragon Slayer's Academy?" Fergus frowned. What? "Academy," Wiglaf repeated. "It means school." "I know that," his father said. "Go on." "We teach our students to slay dragons," Wiglaf read. "Slay dragons?" Wiglaf thought with growing interest. "Heroes slay dragons." "And," he read on, "they bring the dragon's hordes home to you." "The dragon's hordes?" Fergus scratched his armpit thoughtfully. "That would be what?" "Well, gold and jewels most likely," Wiglaf replied. "Blazing King-Ken breeches!" Fergus roared. "Read it all!" Which is just what Fergus was dying to do. "Is there a lazy lad hanging about your hovel? Is he eating more than his share of good cabbage soup? Don't you wish he could earn his keep?" "I'll say," snorted Moana. "Dragon Slayer's Academy is your answer. Feast your eyes on just a few of our classes. How to stalk a fire breather, how to get close to a dragon, how to get even closer, how to get really, really close, and 101 ways to slay. Best of all, we will teach your boy how to bring a dragon's golden horde home to you. Just look at some of our fine lads have done. Baldric the Bold. Baldric slew 3 dragons. With their golden horns, he brought his lucky parents a 450-room castle." "That would do for us," Moana muttered. "Torblad the Terrible. 2 kills, 2 hordes. Now his mum and pop just lie around and watch other folk work." "Oh boy," said Fergus. "Then there's Angus the Avenger. Angus slew a whole nest of dragon young. His parents now dressed in nothing but silk and velvet." "Do they now?" Moana exclaimed. "I wonder how much the school costs." "The fee? Only 7 pennies, plus a teensy part of each horde. Send us your sons, we turn useless lads into heroes who go for the gold. Signed, Mordred the Marvelous, Headmaster, DSA, located just off Huntsman's Path, east of the Dark Forest." Dragon slaying, thought Wiglaf. It sounded pretty gruesome. But dragons were evil. They deserved to be slain, didn't they? And who slew them? Mighty heroes, that's who. Maps tacked to the tree showed the way from Pinwick to Dragon Slayer's Academy. Wiglaf pulled one off and stared at it. Here was a path he might follow to become a hero. "Father," Wiglaf began eagerly, "I would—" "Quiet!" Fergus barked. He turned to his eldest son. "Do you want to go to the to the school?" he asked him. The eldest picked at a scab on his ear. "Would I get in trouble for fighting and knocking other boys' teeth out?" he asked. Fergus nodded. "You might." "I wouldn't like that," the eldest declared. Wiglaf tried again. "Father, Shush!" Fergus turned to his second eldest. "Do you want to go to the school?" he asked him. The second eldest scratched a bedbug bite on his neck. "Would I have to comb my hair and change my breeches?" he asked. Fergus nodded again. "Most likely." "Then I won't go," the second eldest said. "I will, Father," Wiglaf exclaimed. "Pray, send me." But Fergus only rolled his eyes and turned to his fourth eldest. "You're a big, strapping lad," he began. "How would you—" "Wait, Father," Wiglaf cut in. "Think on this. If I slay a dragon, I shall bring you a mountain of gold. You would like that, would you not?" "Yes," Fergus nodded slowly. "And if the dragon gets the better of me," Wiglaf went on, "well, you say I'm no use to you in the cabbage fields anyway." Fergus tucked at a chicken bone that had been tangled in his beard all week. "I have it," he roared at last. "I shall send Wiglaf to the dragon school. He is no use to me in the cabbage fields anyway." "That's a fine idea, Fergus," Moana pointed in. "But what about the 7 pennies? Where would we get that kind of money?" Fergus shrugged. "That pig of his should bring 7 pennies." "You mean sell Daisy?" Wiglaf cried. Wiglaf's younger brother wiped his nose on his sleeve. Daddy, he said, when Wiglaf goes, can I have his goat skin to sleep under? Yes, all right, replied his father. But Wiglaf began. Can I have his spoon then? Asked his even younger brother. Yes, yes, answered Fergus. Can I have his boots? Asked his still younger brother. And his breeches and his tunic? Wait, Wiglaf cried. I'm not dead, am I? I still need my clothes, and I shall never sell Daisy. Never. Oh, do be quiet, Melinda scolded. How else are you going to get 7 pennies? Wiglaf folded his arms across his chest. I shall find a way. Mommy, one of the youngest brothers whined, I want to go to the fair. I want to see the 2-headed calf. Of course you do, Melinda exclaimed. And we don't want to miss the hanging. She turned away from the tree, and the rest of the family followed. All but Wiglaf. He straggled behind, thinking. He was going away to the Dragon Slayers Academy, and somehow he was going to keep Daisy by his side. Wiglaf smiled. At last he was on his way to becoming a mighty hero. And that is where we'll end it for this week. I hope you're enjoying the Dragon Slayers Academy so far. This first book is called The New Kid at School, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye!